What's going on, guys? So this is gonna be another gameplay commentary here, and the gameplay in the background, I have no idea what it's gonna be at all because I'm doing this just like right now, and I haven't gone on at all. And I'm basically gonna be talking about my 8th grade and ninth grade year, which were like the two worst years of my life. I fucking completely ruined it, more than likely. So, the beginning of 8th grade year, I've, my mom got dumped. She's a single mom. She's been since like 1999 when I was born, and you know, for her, like for me not having a dad and for her to actually date someone, and probably go through her mind saying, this guy could potentially be the father of my son, something he's never had, and her getting dumped put her in a very bad depression stage, and it sucks if you've ever seen your mom or your dad or anyone just like depressed and you having to go to school is something that you really don't want to do. And there's this thing in my state called a star test, and basically in order for you to pass to the next grade from elementary and middle school, you have to take this thing called a star test. You have to pass the classes. But aside from passing your classes, which they teach you nothing about, they just teach you how to pass one test. Uh, you just need the test. It's pretty much it. You just need the STAR test in order to pass to the next grade until you get to high school, which I'll get to that in a little. And you know, it being my 8th grade year, I just really didn't feel like doing anything. I wasn't showing up to school. I was, staying with my mom. I would be absent a lot, and I played video games even then. I've been playing since like COD 4, but for me, just like hating like pretty much everything, because I'm gonna make a commentary separately on this, but I've had two teachers in my entire life that have hated my guts, and I've hated them back. Only two, but that's gonna be a commentary for another day. Uh, so from having like classes like that, I really wasn't feeling it, and I had band too, which fucking the nerd that I am, I know I'm a fucking loser. Uh, I would have to get up in the morning, and I just wouldn't fucking get up in the morning for 8th grade band rehearsal. I would like not even show up to the class, and for most of the time, the reason I didn't show up is because my instrument broke, and our school was too fucking poor to buy me one instrument. I just didn't play for like the whole year. So what ended up happening after me being a complete badass and a fucking rogue student, just not going to school. I've never really hung around a bad crowd, but I've known pretty much every asshole gangster who thinks that they can fuck people up in my school. I mean, they won't kill me or anything. They won't fucking obligate me to do drugs, because I've known them for like the longest time, but I've never really stuck and hung out with them. Uh, so they really didn't influence me in any way, but my mom thought they did, because my mom knows that I know them, because I've like hung out with them plenty of times. But what ended up happening is, since me like not going to school or anything, my grades started to like drop a little, and the system started to pick it up. So I picked up every one of my classes, like the grades. I would be absent like at least once or twice a week, and I would still end up getting like hundreds in like half the classes except one class, which was ran by Miss Douchebag, which is gonna be for another day of a commentary, because she is the worst human being on this earth. She really is. Um, Aside from that, after a few months, I got a court notice, and you know, my mom never wanted me like to end up going to court or anything. So she told me, you gotta go to school and everything, and I did go, but I would always like skip and be absent because I just wasn't really feeling it. Like, I don't know if it's because my hormones were changing and shit, and my mom just being like fucking depressed made me like half depressed, and then realizing that I have to do fucking all my work and everything and go to school just to fucking take one exam that is preparing me for college, which I'm probably might not even go to, or I probably will. Who the fuck knows? So I just like kind of like hit my brain, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, school is pretty much just pointless. So I just started skipping. My mom would drop me off. I would fucking leave with my friends, or I would just like stay absent, like fucking fake some shit that I'm dying, or I have like some testicle shit. I don't know. I would make up the most lamest shit, when I would also go to the nurse and like uh say that I just wasn't feeling well. I think I have like a worm or some shit in my fucking stomach. So I would go home, and I would basically just come to video games, and like just video games would like pretty much just shut everything out for me. Like, I would come on, I'd play with my friends, I'd trick shot with them, I'd hit probably one of my best trick shots just because I stayed home from school and I just fucking hated everything in life. And I just felt glad that video games could take me away from that. So after all of that, I finally ended up going to court, and the funny thing is that when me and my mom were there, she told me that if that guy started asking questions or anything, because I did tell her about Miss fucking douchebag, which is part of the reason I didn't even go to fucking school. I don't want to see her ugly fucking slutty face near me. That she was gonna tell him about her. But you know, the court, like the judge, I don't know why I called him a court guy. The judge was actually like nice, because he saw that even though I had like over 2 months worth of absences, all of my grades were fucking 80s and above, except obviously algebra and Spanish. Even though I'm a Mexican, my, Spanish teachers, when you fucking know the language, are douchebags, and they want you to do 100 million projects in like one day. So he just like told me, you need to like stay in school, and if I ever see you again here, I'm just gonna handcuff you. We're not even gonna speak or anything, and you're just going straight to jail. The funny thing is that like right before we went in, we actually saw a guy like get dragged out and just like get arrested. He was like probably an 18-year-old, and he was like crying, and his lawyer was just like next to him, like just looking down. Uh, so that was basically my 8th grade year. I really didn't have much in my 8th grade year. I had a lot of teachers obviously ask me why I was absent and shit, and I just made some stupid family shit up. And, they really didn't question me that much, because even though I was absent and shit, I would do my work compared to half the other kids who wouldn't do anything. And then coming into my 9th grade year, freshman year of high school, I done fucked up everything there. 9th grade year, seeing as how 8th grade, by the way, 8th grade year was like the first time I had ever been absent more than 4 or 5 times, which is the limit. And 9th grade year, I went in, saw all my friends. For like the first month, it was alright, but then after a while, like getting all this work and everything, and then again, like just same bullshit over and over again. How all you need is a fucking test. Like, from having only a test to pass to then having a class and then a test to pass, which in order to pass, you need a certain amount of credits, obviously. But if you don't, there's 3 exams. There was an algebra, biology, and English/writing test. And if you fail the algebra star test, then you take fucking star algebra 1, but you can still pass the sophomore year. If you fail the class, then you take the class and you pass the fucking test. Whoop de fucking do. There's no win-win situation here unless you pass both. And I passed obviously all my exams, but I was absent a shit ton my freshman year. I don't know, just after all of that, just seeing how like stupid it fucking was, I started coming late. I was skipping again, obviously, with my friends. I'm part of the cool kid clan, fucking high school rebels. Don't fucking want to go to school to learn for shit. And I just hated it. I hated the fact that that's basically where I had to go. And I had Miss Douchebag again. 9th grade year, which ruined it all for me. As soon as I saw her name on my schedule, I drank a tub of bleach, and it did not work out well for me because I'm still here. But after all of that bullshit, half a semester in, I get called up to the attendance office. And it was my band director, and he's telling me, hey dude, what's going on? You weren't coming to school and shit. And my band director becomes Mr. Douchebag later on, which is for another commentary with Miss Douchebag. But, you know, I just made some bullshit up about family, and then I'm gonna start showing up to band and everything, which was complete bullshit because I didn't do that. So I then later on got on a contract for school, and I basically had to wake up every morning and go sign it. But then second semester I ended up having gym, which completely turned my whole output on life. And I just started going in at 9 o'clock to school, 9 a.m. because gym class didn't start till like 9:20. So then everyone would just basically get in at 9, and I just didn't sign the contract at all the second semester. And I am still here because I didn't go to court. Luckily, I didn't go to jail or anything. My mom was really stressing about that. But I was absent a shit ton second semester too. I had friends come to me and like tell me, what the fuck is going on, dude? Why are you being absent? I just didn't say shit. I was always a fucking quiet kid in the back, just there fucking sitting and learning and fucking listening to shit that I already knew, which isn't gonna help me or benefit me in life whatsoever, because I already know all of this by common sense. But you know, every now and then, obviously, if someone comes to me and they're like, hey, like what's going on or anything, I would just like not tell them anything and turn the conversation on them, and then they would tell me about their problems, and then I just fucking, my ears turn wide fucking open, and I start listening to someone even though I try to block them out with all my heart. I can't. I'm not a fucking mean person. So what ended up happening in all of that, seeing as how my 9th grade freshman year was ruined, I didn't even take a yearbook picture. I was pretty much like a ghost freshman year. I hardly even went. I have no idea how I passed the sophomore year, to be honest. I probably would have retained myself if I had the option, which I probably wouldn't, but still. In the end, it worked out for me somehow. I mean, just doing all my work and everything, and I really wouldn't recommend being absent more than like 35 times. I'm pretty sure it's what I had 9th grade year. It's honestly terrible. It just really, it's not gonna benefit you at all, just like skipping and everything. It just really doesn't help you at all. And when I skipped with friends and whatnot, I didn't go and do fucking drugs like every other prick out there. I went and did cocaine, okay? I was fucking badass. No, I didn't, but still. I just like walked around school or whatever. I just probably, we'd go to our friend's house. We really didn't do much, so yeah, that's my 8th grade and 9th grade year. It's fucking depressing, right? I'm like a fucking antisocial kid who just doesn't fucking want to go to school and rather just hang out at my house, where the beam of light called the sun, I'm pretty sure is what you humans call it, that has no fucking brightness settings. I don't know what's going on out there, but yeah. So that's gonna be the end of this commentary. It's pretty long, almost 15 minutes, but it was just so you guys, like, for me to be personal. I've never really told anyone at all that I ever had this problem, like, that I just gave up on school and whatnot. I never wanted to kill myself, for a fact. I mean, it probably crossed my mind many times, like, what if I just kill myself? But then I'm like, what kind of fucking pussy kills himself? Like, what if there is no heaven or hell? Then I basically just wasted life. So that's probably why I haven't killed myself, because I actually have common sense somewhere in my brain, luckily. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of the commentary. I opened up. I've really never opened up to anyone. YouTube is kind of more like a way for me to open up more, and if you guys, friends that wanted to learn something about me that I've really never told anyone, there it is. That's something that is probably the worst things I've ever done. I hope you guys did enjoy, and in no way was this like a pity thing or anything associated with anything about life or me trying to get you guys depressed about me, but hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you next time.